Alright, hey everyone, so today I want to talk about synthetic division and basically the steps for synthetic division. Okay, so you have a polynomial x to the power 4 plus 3x plus 1 divided by another polynomial x minus 1. Now synthetic division says that if you have an x a polynomial, right, be it of any degree, alright, in this case, we have x to the power 4 plus 3x plus 1. Alright, so I'll just write our example up here. And if you were to divide it by a binomial, x minus h, alright? So if I were to divide it by x minus h, I would just take the h form of it, alright? You don't need to worry about the minus so much. So it would be h on one side, and then you would have the division bar, and for each one of those spots, x to the power cubed, you would have, or actually in this case it's x to the power 4, you'd have x to the power 4, whatever coefficient is in front of x to the power 4, you would place that in here. So in our case it would be 1, and then you would go down the list, and it would have, here's the x to the power cubed spot, and then the x squared spot, and then x, and then so on and so forth all the way to the constant. Alright, so now let's look at our example closer and I'll show you what I mean. But again, synthetic division only works if you have an x minus h. Okay, if you have a polynomial of any form, any degree, and it's divided by an x minus h. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me erase this. So in our instance, we have x minus 1, so I will have 1 on the outside, and I will create my division bar. This is your x to the 4th spot, I have x to the cube spot, x to the squared spot, x to the power 1 spot, which is just x, and then I have my constant all the way at the end here. You have to leave a spot for every one of the coefficients as you go down in degree, alright, in descending degree order. So x to the power 4, my coefficient, as you can see here, is 1 for x to the power 4. So I'm going to place a 1 here. I don't have an x to the power cubed in my first polynomial, so I will put a 0. I don't have an x squared term, so I will also put a 0, because those are the coefficients in front of those terms. They don't exist in this polynomial. Right? And then I have the 3x term, that's my linear term, and the coefficient in front of x is 3, and my constant is 1. Right? So synthetic division, the first one, I will have x to the power 4, so that one. And then you can disregard all the ones on top. These were just guiding factors to tell us which coefficient goes where. Now, the first one we don't touch, we just bring it as is. Okay, so I'm going to make an arrow and then I'm going to make a line. So the first one stays the same, so it's just 1. And then 1 times 1, so I'm going to multiply now. 1 times 1. So it's the h value times the value that is down here. Right? I'm multiplying it. And then I will bring this value up here. So 1 times 1 is 1. Then we will add the two terms inside of the division bar. So it's a 0 plus 1, which is 1. Then again, I will do 1 times 1. You're doing the h value that's in here, times the value that comes next. So it's 1 times 1 again, and I will bring this back up, and it's going to be plus 1. And then 0 plus 1, it's going to be 1, and then 1 times 1, again it's the h value, the value up here times the value here. 1 times 1 is 1, so I will bring it back up to the next spot. That's also 1. And again, add those values. So now I have 3 plus 1, which is 4. And then I will do, again, the h value, 1, times 4, times it by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. And I will add these two values, 1 plus 4, which is 5. Now usually we will leave like a little mini box down here. This signifies the remainder of our synthetic division. So this is the remainder of your synthetic division. Alright, so now finally, what is our final answer from this synthetic division? It's going to be this, whatever coefficients you see down here, these are now the coefficients for your new degree, for your new polynomial with a degree, with 1 degree less than the polynomial that was up here. Alright, the one you began with. So we began with x to the power 4, so my new polynomial is going to start with x to the power 3. So this is actually x to the power 3's coefficient, then this is x to the power squared coefficient, and then this is the x coefficient, and then this is my constant, then this is my remainder. So let me show you how this polynomial looks like. So now our polynomial becomes x to the power cubed plus x squared plus x plus 4, and our remainder is plus 5 over, because 5 is a remainder, you put it over the first, over the number that you divided by. In our case, this was a binomial, so it was x minus 1. So it's 5 over x minus 1. Okay, and then this would be your final answer right here. Right? So x to the power 4 plus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 is equal to x cubed plus x squared plus x plus 4 plus 5 over x minus 1. And this is using synthetic division. Right? Thanks for watching.